Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we are back with some hangar control information on how to bind LVars to an axis and effectively use them. And today as our reference we're going to be using the Fenix A320's throttle, so stick around. One app designed to do it all. HangarControl brings everything together: control bindings, hardware configuration, mod and profile management, application launching, add-ons, config files, and more, all managed from a single application. Mods Hangar goes beyond just mods and add-ons. It manages profiles, config files, text files, backups, snapshots, and helps keep your community folders clean and organized. Application Hangar launches your entire sim stack with a single click. Your Stream Decks are fully controlled through the HangarControl plugin, while all of your other Stream Deck plugins remain active and available. Built by a simmer for simmers, HangarControl adds new features and hardware support every week based on community feedback. It's a one-time purchase with lifetime updates, no subscriptions. You can try it for free for 5 days with no restrictions at overkillsimulations.com. Just create an account, head to your account page, download the latest version, and get started. And if you're looking for in-depth Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft tutorials, check out my Patreon site. Links to HangarControl and Patreon are down in the description below. Alright folks, so just a quick recap in case you missed the intro. I know sometimes they get skipped. I do want you all to know if you're interested in a 5-day free unrestricted trial, you can go to overkillsimulations.com, create an account first, log in, click the red account button in the top right, then click the red download HangarControl button in the account page for the latest version, and start your 5-day free unrestricted trial, including any updates that are released during that time frame. Alright, now let's get into today's video. This has come up on more than one occasion in different scenarios, but today this was brought to me in regard to the Fenix A320's throttle bindings. You can do a couple of different ways. Our normal way of previously doing this was to set a normal throttle 1 axis or throttle 1 set using the SimConnect command. Then you go through the config here in the Fenix, but there's a much simpler way because the Fenix uses LVars. So I'm going to walk you guys through that and show you the good, the bad, the ugly, and how to diagnose what's actually happening. So let's get right into it. We're going to go into our control bindings. I'm going to use the Bravo throttle quadrant as our resource today. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to remove this, okay? So we're going to start here. We've selected our axis. We're going to go to add. We're going to still select SimConnect. We're going to go then to pick, and we're going to find an LVar. We know it's an LVar, so now I'm going to look for throttle, and you can actually already see it here. But if I type throttle, you have left input and right input. That's going to be the left and right axis. It's important to understand that with LVars are pulled automatically, okay, through the WASM module. So if an LVar exists in an aircraft, you will be able to find it in the picker dialog. And this goes for any aircraft or any LVar that's currently available inside the simulator. Okay, now there are times that you can use the source, for example. That's a little off screen there. I just realized that. Where are we? There we go. Let's bring it out. And we may be able to find the Fenix, but it really just depends on the naming scheme. Fenix, yeah. So it depends on how they name it. So we're just going to go with any and stay with where we were. So I'm going to select the left input first. We're going to hit OK. Now it's going to bring up the LVar action dialog. From the LVar action dialog, we want to hit use axis value for axis streaming. So we're going to select that. Now notice it says 0 to 100%, right? Now that's normally what we would expect. We would want 0 to 100%. I'm going to show you what happens here, and this is where LVars are different, and you have to be careful. So we're going to hit OK. We're going to make sure the use axis range is already selected. We're going to hit save. Now watch what happens with the throttle. Notice what it did. I barely moved it, and it went all the way forward. But let me show you guys what's actually happening. I'm going to move it very slowly. Okay. I want you guys to understand what's happening here. LVars work with physical positions, meaning like the TBM 850 from Black Square. Let's talk about the crash bar. It has 2 positions. An LVar will have a 0 and it'll have a 1. and there are some, maybe it's a flap, maybe it'll have 4 positions. The condition levers in many aircraft have 3 positions. So you have 0, 1, and 2, etc., right? You guys sort of get the gist of what I'm getting at. We have told the axis range that this LVAR has 100 positions. It doesn't. It actually has 5. You have maximum reverse at 0, idle reverse at 1, throttle reverse at 2, climb 3, flex 4, TOGA 5. So now let's go back in here and let's edit this, and let me show you how to properly set this up, where you can bypass all the configuration windows, any kind of detent calibrations, and just put your raw input to where it belongs. So we're going to go in here again. We're going to go to our pick, and when you can see it automatically selects the last one if you give it a second. We're going to double click again. We're going to change the minimum and max value to 5. And we're going to hit save and save again. Now look what it did. Remember I told you, 0 is full reverse. Watch the axis range. There's our idle position. There's climb, flex, and TOGA. Okay, perfect detent calibration if you want to use your axis for full reverse. I don't want to use my axis for full reverse, so now let's go back in and change it one more time. So we're going to come in here and go pick again. And you can see what's the minimum value. The minimum value I want this axis to be able to set is currently set to 0, which is maximum full reverse. So I want you guys to think in your own heads right now for a second. So if I don't want the reverse on the axis, what do I need to set this to? Hopefully most of you came up with the number 2. We want 2 to be our starting point, 5 to be our ending point. We hit save. And now when I just barely touch it, we should see idle. And now when I bring it all the way back, there's the idle position. And there you go. Okay. Now, let's go ahead, since we're here though, and bind the detent. So on the detent, we're going to come in here. Oh, I know exactly why that's set. That was a test. I'm sorry. So we're going to clear that. That's definitely not what we want, but we're going to go to Browse Events. We're still going to stay on LVars. We're still going to be using the left one input, and we're going to set value to 0. And so now if I hit save and save again, and I go into the detent, there's my full reverse. Come out of the detent, and we're back at idle. You don't have to worry about setting a release and setting it back to 1 unless you want idle reverse. Okay, you don't have to do that. Because as soon as you come in and you trigger any kind of action in the axis itself, watch just the slightest of orange, boom, you're back in the idle position. Okay, so you don't have to worry about binding. It makes binding reverse in this very, very easy. So one last time, we're going to set up the right one now, just so it's all done. So browse. Now this one didn't have a binding, so there's throttle, sort by name, right input. This one, again, we want to set to 0 as the value. Save and close, save, test the detent. There it is. Now it's not going to do anything when we pull it back out because we haven't bound the axis. Now we're going to come into our axis, and you can see, like I said, this is how we were doing it. We're not going to do that anymore, that's for sure. And we're again, sort by LVars. And after this, I will show you guys how we found what the LVAR was. Okay, there's the input. And we're going to come down and use the axis. And remember, we want between 2 and 5. Save and close, save. And now, when we move our throttles, go into full reverse. And everything's easy peasy, ready to roll. Okay, very, very simple way to do that. Now, how I confirmed that these were the what the LVars were is, again, in development mode. Let me bring my screen down a bit so you guys can see it. Oh, I'm on the wrong display. Hang on. There we go. Bring that down so you guys can see that. You want to go into settings, advanced, make sure dev mode is active, then go to tools, bring up the behaviors tool. You can see the behaviors tool pop up here. And what you're going to do is click here. Let me get HangarControl out of the way. Click on any of your throttles, and you're just going to do Control G. And you can see it right there. There's your LVAR. AFC _ throttle right input. And just like we saw on the left one, if we click on the left one, do G again, there's your left input. Okay? So, a very simple way to demonstrate how to use LVARs on an axis. It's very important that you know how many positions that LVAR has. LVARs will always have a position. Okay, they don't just stream axis like many others do, like a B event can, or even a B event, there's some caveats there, but for the most part, streaming to axis works just fine. Okay, but it's definitely not like a SimConnect, where a SimConnect will just stream it. Okay, so I hope this makes a lot of sense. I hope it clears up how to use an LVAR with an axis, and in this case, how to take full advantage of the Fenix A320's LVAR to very easily customize and bind your throttles all the way through full reverse. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little video, and I hope you guys consider giving HangarControl a shot. As always, folks, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.